Hey guys, my name is Julia and I'm one of your teen services librarians over at the main library on Goodwood. We really need to talk about the gravity of this dim situation this week, and that's because we're going to be building Newton's cradles. Supplies that accompany this week's video are available at the main library in a limited capacity. To make a Newton's cradle, you will need 4 pieces of cut cardboard for your frame, 1 chopstick cut in half, duct tape, and 5 marbles hot glued to cording. To get started, we're going to go ahead and build our frame, and to do that we want to take our rectangle pieces with the slits cut in them and slide those U-shaped pieces right into them. And then just try to get the base as square as you can. Alright, once you are there, you want to go ahead and insert the chopsticks through the top. These holes were made, I just drove a nail through them because it's kind of difficult to cut. When you are sticking your chopstick through, it may not fit perfectly, so try to widen them up with scissors. Make sure that you don't jam it in and push it because you can actually break your frame. So then you should have something looking a bit like this. Next up, you're going to start attaching your marbles to this. So I've gone through and I've hot glued marbles to everything. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to do this. If we taped it, the effect didn't work as well. Elmer's glue wasn't strong enough to hold this, and super glue was absolutely impossible to pack. So every cord should be around 28 centimeters in that ballpark. It may be a little bit longer, but all the marbles are glued on at 14 centimeters. So when you're tying these on, the important thing is that you want it to be straight through there. You don't want a ton of slack or this won't work. And then when you start attaching multiple marbles, you want them to all line up together perfectly. If they don't line up, this also doesn't work very well. So this is too far off. And I'm actually going to do quite a bit of this off camera because this is the part that is tedious. It's a lot of struggle bussing of trying to tie and then retie everything to get it to line up just right. So I talked a lot about how you need to line things up, but I just want to show you what will happen if you don't. So you can see here that this middle guy is out of line and nothing happens if you do it. So I'm gonna fix him and we'll try again. All right, so here is where I'm at right now. And it works. I found that it actually works better if you only use 3. But you can play around, do whatever you want. After you get things where you want them, you wanna use your tape and tape down the cording along the rail on the top. This cording is great. It is glow in the dark. However, it definitely will slip as you do this, and you wanna hold it in place. Once everything is all taped up, you should be good to go. You can keep playing with it if you want. I did include extra tape in your kit, so if you wanted to go ahead, tape up the rail, secure the frame, whatever you need to do. All right, so now it is time for the science. The Newton's cradle is named after one of the most important and influential scientists of all time, Isaac Newton. You may have heard of the guy. He was the first person to theorize about gravity. He did so much of the early legwork for physics, and he co-developed calculus along with Leibniz. Seriously, the guy was brilliant. But he did not make the Newton's cradle. That was actually something that started to be marketed in the 1960s as an executive toy, which is a fancy way of saying a toy that grown-ups keep on their desk at work. Anyways, the Newton's cradle works because of the conservation of momentum. Momentum is mass times velocity, or more simply put, it is how much mass is in motion. So the conservation of momentum means that momentum doesn't change, it's just transferred. When we pull back our first marble on the chain and let it go, we are giving the mass of that marble velocity. thus momentum. When it hits that next marble though, it doesn't just disappear. Instead, it transfers that momentum to the next marble, which does it to the next, and so on until we get to the end of the chain, which is what causes the one on the end to kick out and start the whole process over. This is also exactly how, if you've ever played pool and you hit another billiards ball with a cue ball, the cue ball will stop and the other ball will travel forwards. Over time, though, momentum will be lost to friction, which is why our toy doesn't go on forever, but will stop after a little bit. If you have any questions or comments about today's video, holler at us. Leave a comment on this video or call us at 231-3770. Better yet, tag us on Instagram to show us what you made. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see you next time.